Okay, so we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about toxic mothers and the toxic influence that they have over their children. Okay, so a toxic mother has very toxic traits, meaning that she's a very jealous woman, she's a very nasty woman, and she also is a representation of what her husband is hiding on the inside. You see, a lot of the times within unions, within couples, one individual is reflecting what the other is hiding on the inside. So if you have one partner that has an outgoing personality and they're very well liked and they're very happy, but then you may have another individual, the other partner, to where maybe they're a little cranky, maybe they're a little more reserved, introverted, or what have you, then you're going to notice that the one who has a lot of the personality, they're actually introverted. And the one who seems to be introverted is actually the external one. Okay. So we're going to talk about mothers and toxic influences in which that mothers have on their children, especially when it comes to their daughters. And this actually can be, this is actually somewhat of a generational pattern, or what they would call generational curses. So, as a parent, you never stop being a parent, and you are a spiritual guide, and you are a mentor to your children. Your children will always come to you and talk to you about things and ask you for your advice. A lot of the times, mom is also a protector, but at the same time, sometimes individuals are afraid to ask dad for the protection because dad is more sensible in logic in certain situations, to where mom, especially if she's toxic, she's always going to give in to her children, making her children toxic. And so when her children display toxic behavior towards her, which is very manipulating behavior, she's easily manipulated into doing toxic things for her children. Okay. And so it's like, with mom being the spiritual guide and the mentor, when she's toxic, she's more of a puppet master, meaning that she is influencing her children to do wicked shit. And when her children are unable to do wicked shit, then she is the one doing the wicked shit, pulling the strings. But the thing is that her toxicity will never allow her, because she has a lot of ego, her toxicity will never allow for her to be caught up front in the act. So this is where she begins to use her children as pawns to do her dirty work. Okay, so I knew a woman, and she was very jealous of her brother. And her brother has children and she has children. So she would coach and prep her children to lie on her brother's children. She would coach and prep her children to have certain toxic behaviors towards her brother's children as well. Okay? So, the thing is that all of that roots from the mother. All of that roots from the mother, and this is a lot to how sibling rivalry happens within families as well. You have some parents that want to turn the children against each other. Wow, what a great family to be a part of. So in some situations, in some cases, because what individuals don't understand is that when you are a child, your parents are pretty much molding and mapping out the catalyst. They're the example as to how you are going to be within your relationships. They're shifting and molding your perspective. So if you have a parent to where a parent is teaching you and coaching you that, hey, women don't get along with each other, but you have two sisters or three or four, their perception is that they are not supposed to get along, so they will not get along, because that is the seed that the parents have, or parent has planted within the mind of their child. And so this seed grows over time, and it turns into a belief, and it turns into an operation, like the child now operates as an adult with that same perspective. Okay, now of course, as an adult, when you get older, you can make certain choices within your life. You do not have to listen to your parents, but see, a lot of people, sometimes you find that individuals, and it usually comes from very abusive parents, to where the child is mentally enslaved to that parent, to where even though that parent is very abusive and have been very abusive to them, they still are starving and thirsting for the approval of their parents. This also causes sibling rivalry too. So the thing is that as an adult, as your own woman, as your own man, you must learn to accept your parents for who they are, see them for the fucked up people that they truly are. And it's kind of like you still have to, it's like an acceptance. You have to accept who they are, but you have to accept and realize that you don't have to be that way. That is the freedom and being an adult and getting older and breaking away from the nest. You have wings to be able to fly. You now have a mind of your own. So whatever toxic or abusive programming that your parents have planted in you, you can change that around. And when we don't change it around, it just repeats within the family, to where it gets passed down to the children, it gets passed down to the grandchildren, the great grandchildren, and then we just have this toxic ass family, to where individuals really don't like each other. Nobody was taught how to respect each other. There wasn't relationships established with the children. Sometimes you have parents, they're too much. They may have addictions. They may be too much into their vices. I'm going to tell you, at one point in time, I used to smoke a lot of weed. And I would smoke so much weed to the point to where I'm just like, damn, I'm neglecting my son. But I'm so caught up in the high of everything that I'm not paying attention that I am neglecting my son. So when I came to this realization, I said, you know what? I need to be responsible. For one, I'm not going to stop smoking weed. Okay? I have stopped smoking weed now, but back then I'm just like, no, I'm not going to stop smoking weed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to learn how to balance out my addiction consumption. And I know people say, well, you can't really be addicted to weed. No, I don't really think that you can be addicted to weed. But I mean, you have to be true to you, because I'm the type of person to where the weed will smoke me, honey. And I'm gone some other place. But I am not in my reality. I am not present. Okay? And so, it's crazy, because sometimes when we have children, during their childhood, it seems as if, we think we're depressed, so we'll indulge more into our vices. You understand what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like you become a neglectful parent, and it's just like, when your children get older, you have missed so much of their childhood, and you miss so much of those very important years of self-development and helping your children to develop, that when you look up, your children are nothing but a bunch of criminals. They're nothing but a bunch of troublemakers. They're nothing but a bunch of evil ass motherfuckers who are doing stuff and messing up their life. And what are they gonna do? You know, what are they gonna do to you? What they have learned to do. Be very toxic and manipulating. So they're gonna turn on you, and they're going to make it your problem that their life is fucked up. They're going to put it on you. They're going to say, well, I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for you. You're a shitty ass mom. You were a shitty ass dad. And all this type of stuff. And because you feel that guilt, you feel like you have to make up for lost times. So anything that they have going on, you want to be a part of it because you want to make up for lost times, and you want to show your love, and you want to regain your loyalty to your children and the relationship. And it just becomes a toxic cycle. Your children will never fucking forgive you, which is why they rather use you than to actually try to work out the relationship with you. So, yes, I have had issues with my parents. There are just certain things in life that will never be fixed or resolved. So what you have to learn how to do is grow the fuck up and move the hell on. Especially when you have children of your own. Because if not, the seeds that you are sowing, what you are planting for your children in the future, is the toxic, unhealthy cycle that you grew up in, that you grew up with, and then you're going to be teaching your children that. And then when you get older and your children get grown, they're going to do the same shit to you. Thank you. Confirmation. This is what you call generational patterns. Okay? Only love has the ability to conquer all hate or evil. But when you do not know love, then you are lost in the darkness. You stay in the darkness. You're comfortable in the darkness. You're always hiding. You're just a little shadow in the world, to where you move throughout the shadows. You're never really seen because you're always up to some fucked up shit. Then on top of that, you're always shucking, jiving, and moving because you done burnt so many fucking bridges within your life. There are people after you. You have used people as a stepping stone. You see relationships as people to get to where you're trying to go. You will throw people under the bus, therefore nobody likes you, and you're going to find yourself to where people are after you and they want to get you. So you have to hide away. You don't know how to be anything else except for toxic. And truth to yourself, you want to learn how to get out of this. But at the same time, you're imprisoned by your ego. You are imprisoned by your pain, by your trauma, by your unforgivingness, by your resentment, by your laziness to put in the work, to heal, and to move the fuck on. It doesn't get any brighter. The dark only gets darker. Now we're in the sunken place. Our life is no longer ours. Our body, our mind, our action is no longer ours. We are constantly being controlled and possessed by everybody else. Everybody else is in control of what we choose to do because we care so much about what other people say or think about us. We have so much to hide and are desperately trying to cover it up. This is a life of bondage. This is not a life of freedom. Set yourself free today and let go. Let it go. It's over. Cut defeat. Cut it. You can change. Every day is a new day, is a new opportunity for you to be able to change your fucking life. You don't have to do what you did yesterday. Yesterday is gone. Today is here. What are you going to do differently today in a healthy way that you didn't do yesterday? Think about that. Until the next time, once again, I hope we have made some sense here today. We'll talk again. Thank you.